So this is the picture that I'm going to take and engrave on a piece of wood for my mom for Mother's Day. My daughter made this and she is giving this to her grandma. So the first thing you want to do is take a picture and go ahead and email it to yourself and upload it on your computer. All right, so I have Silhouette opened and I'm going to open my picture. And what I'm going to want to do is go over to the trace panel. The trace panel is this butterfly right here. Go ahead and click that. Select trace area. And we're going to select this whole thing. And depending on the type of picture you're doing, it may not work like this. We might have to do it a different way. Yep, because it's taking these lines right here. So we are going to undo that because it's two separate pieces of paper. We're going to actually do it separately. So go ahead and select your trace area and just trace right on the picture. There we go. So now it has all the words that we want highlighted, and we're going to go ahead and put the threshold up a little bit, not that much, just so it traces the words really well. And do the same thing for this lower one. So now that we did that to both of them, we're kind of left with this. So we're going to get rid of the original picture. We can just go ahead and delete that. And you can see we have the two traced areas right here. And we're going to click it and just make sure this is black and filled in so it can engrave properly. And the same thing with this bottom one here. Black, black. And as you can see here, I have a little bit of air right here because I went too low on the piece of paper. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So if there's any mistakes that you want to get rid of, just take out your erase tool. And there we go. Take care of it. Okay. So that's good to go. We are going to just size this down just a tad. It is a little big. I just want to make sure it all fits on the screen. And then go up to File, Save As, Save to your hard drive, and we're going to save this as an SVG file so we can make sure that we can upload it within Glowforge. All right, now go ahead and go to your Glowforge app, click on Create New Design, a blank design. And this is just here because this is the last thing I made in my machine, but I can go upstairs and remove that. But you can just ignore that. Go ahead and click Upload and find your latest SVG file. And we are just going to downsize it to the size we want to do. I'm thinking a 4x6 should do well. I'm going to use some scraps for this. So I would think that a 4x6 would be okay. She should still be able to read it. And we are going to cut this on draft board. We're actually using Baltic birch. So go ahead and use the settings for Baltic birch for engraving, and I always do 145 full in one. So select your size. Oops, I gotta select the whole thing. Select the whole thing, and we are going to make it 6 inches tall by 4. And we can see how it says 6 by 5.5. We can unlock it and actually make this 4, but the because of like the proportion, it's says that it's going to work best with a 5.5 by 1. So we are just going to leave it that size because I feel like that is the best. And then, so we are going to, now that we have our engraved settings all worked out, we are going to just attach this or group this together so nothing gets separated and create the outline. So it can be like a card. And we can either, depending on how this looks, we can either create the outline and that's going to kind of create little like cloudy swirls around it, or we can create a box around it. And I'm definitely going to go with the box. So we are going to get rid of that. And you can do whatever you want. If you prefer the outline, great. And if not, you don't have to. I'm gonna round the edges just a tad. There we go. And then just zoom in, make sure it all looks good and it's even. And load up your piece of wood in there and go ahead and cut it. So this is how it turned out, and it is adorable. From that to that.